Hello beautiful people and welcome to the channel Life After Narc. My name's Debbie and I talk about all things to do with narcissistic, abusive and toxic relationships as well as looking at healing from them. I'd just like to remind you that this video is for information purposes only. And if you enjoy the video, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and share with friends or groups, people who you think may actually find this information interesting and helpful. So today's topic is enablers and flying monkeys. What is the difference? So some of you may have already heard the term flying monkey, and the term itself comes from the film Wizard of Oz, where the Wicked Witch of the West has these flying monkeys that she sends out to do her dirty work. And I love that film because she goes in it, "Fly, my pretties, fly." And being a witch, I just find it amusing. But this is the kind of thing that the narcissist does, perhaps not intentionally. Well, there is intention in it, but the people who he may well be speaking to may not be aware of his intent. So the flying monkeys will go on to verbally abuse you, or, you know, it could be via social media or it could be in person. So you do need to be aware of these people. And they are generally family members or very close friends of the narcissist. So right after the narcissist has left you, my advice to you is block. Block every single member of their family and block their friends, those that you know about. They may spy on you through their social media and find out what you're doing and report this back to the narcissist. For example, if you say something, you're upset, you're crying, you miss this person, they'll report that back to the narcissist, who is then gaining their supply. Even though they've left or you've left them, they are still getting supply from your pain, from your hurt. And this is what we want to stop. We want to stop this supply to them. They need to be aware that they can't get supply from us anymore. We have been their supply for far too long. They need new supply. Perhaps they're already with new supply. So these messages that they send via social media may well be passive aggressive. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why did you tell this person that? You're to blame. You're the one that did this. For example, I was accused of holding the purse strings in our relationship, and it's quite funny because I had no strings to my purse. I was unemployed and on benefits, and he was the one that was bringing in the money. But no, I was in charge of it. Okay, whatever. The narcissist has told the flying monkey that you are the monster, that you are the predator, that you are the nasty, horrible person. Meanwhile, you're the victim in all of this. You're the one that went through the hell that you went through. And it's very funny because I find that my friends and family have not gone over to his social media and created all these slanderous comments to him, because I didn't ask them to. I asked them specifically, do not have contact with him. I don't want you to have any contact with him. So, as I say, they'll say things that you are the perpetrator, you're the one that caused all the hurt, the pain, you're the one that was hitting yourself, that was throwing yourself down the stairs, that was being pinned against a wall, that was being raped, that was being verbally abused, physically abused, whatever it was, of course, you're to blame. We know that you're not, and we know that the narcissist is the person to blame for that, but they will have woven their tale of woe. They've become the victim to their family, friends, and so on. So their family and friends will feel the need to stand up for them. And if that happens to you, you'll generally find that it happens around days of special occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, or some other date that is significant to you or the ex-narc. And what I would suggest you do is try not to engage with them. I know you are going to want to defend yourself, you're going to want to stand up for yourself, but it's not worth the pain or the hassle. It really, really isn't. Block. Before you block, screenshot those comments and keep them on a file. And also, if you can, contact the police and get a reference for these comments of abuse that have come from a flying monkey. it's always good to have that reference in case anything happens in the future. They'll pop out of the woodwork at strange times and strange places, and you may find that you're walking through town. Now, if you live in an area where your Nexus family lives and friends, there's a strong chance you're going to bump into somebody at some stage. And there is a strong chance that one of these people, these flying monkeys, are going to say something to you. And you are going to be so tempted to say something back and to get into an argument with them. But walk away with dignity. I've got 3 words of advice here for you, or 3 points of advice here for you, rather. Number 1, get your phone out, record. Record everything. Make sure that you've got it on film. Tell the person, I'm filming you. This is what I'm doing. Make sure you have a record of everything that they say, all the verbal abuse that they may spew out at you. Number 2, walk away. Something you can do is turn your phone around in your hand so that it's recording them rather than recording where you're walking. But walk away. I know you're probably going to have tears in your eyes. You're going to want to run to your car. You're going to want to run to the bus or to a friend. But just walk away calmly and slowly if you can. But there is no point in getting upset at this point. Do that later. The third thing is contact the police. You don't need this kind of harassment in your life, whether through email or text message or on Facebook or other social media, or whether in person. And by contacting the police, you are letting them know that this is happening, that you were being harassed in a public space. And if you are in a public space, there's a greater chance that there will be CCTV footage of what happened. So they can then go and view that footage and take the necessary action against that person. And believe me, I would take that action. Don't let them get away with it, because they are just as nasty as the narcissist is. So, like I said, there's no point in correcting these people because they're not going to believe you. They believe their friend or their family member, your ex-narcissist. That's who they believe. They're not going to believe you. It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. They won't believe you. The narcissist has already smeared your name. Remember that. They've already smeared your name to all of their friends, all of their family, and possibly some of your friends and family as well. Mine did. Now, an enabler, on the other hand, is a person who doesn't know or realize that they are actually enabling the narcissist. And so some of these comments are quite innocent and quite non-intrusive. And as I say, they're innocent. So as you know, I've been doing these videos for a while, and this is part of my healing process. And somebody on my feed said something to me on one of my posts that I put up. It's actually one of the videos, that why hadn't I moved on? Why aren't I healing? Why am I still torturing myself through doing this? And I engaged with this person and shouldn't have done. I should have blocked them immediately. But I tried to explain to this person, look, I was the victim. I am trauma bonded to this person. Now, the trauma bond, and I've discussed this before, is this invisible umbilical cord that connects you to your narcissist, connects you to your abuser. And this is similar to Stockholm Syndrome in the sense that the perpetrator has the victim. The victim tries to befriend the perpetrator so that they can gain their trust, and that trust becomes a bond between them. So even after that situation is over, the victim is still connected to the perpetrator in some way. They believe that perpetrator. And this is what happens in the trauma bond. Exactly the same thing. It's the idealization phase that comes in, that happens. This is the love bombing. And then the devalue phase. So the devalue phase is when the narcissist has an argument with you, walks away, goes and does something, perhaps abuses you in some way. That's the devaluation. And then they come back to you a day or two later. I'm sorry, I did that, babes. I didn't mean it. Let's try again. The love bomb phase starts again. A couple of days later, devaluation happens. And this is how the trauma bond is built. It works on a chemical reaction in the brain. So your body actually becomes addicted to this process. And it is an addiction. It's like taking heroin. I've heard from a lot of heroin sufferers in the past, and specifically a book called H that I read, must have been 30 years ago now. And in that book, the woman who is addicted to heroin says that there is nothing as amazing as that first injection of heroin, and you're always trying to get that first high back. And that is what it's like with the trauma bond. You are always trying to go back to that initial love bombing phase, that right at the beginning of the relationship where everything was so wonderful, even though it wasn't. It was not a healthy relationship. So the enabler, as I say, doesn't realize that they are actually enabling the narcissist or the abuser. They only see it as them trying to help you. The enabler may also ask things such as, well, why did you stay with them for so long? And that hurts. That hurts you, because you know that you stayed because you thought the relationship was going to work, that things were going to be fixed, that they wouldn't do it again. But they did, but you stayed. And then you stayed. And then you stayed because you had nowhere else to go. And you were fearful. And you were stuck in this place. And you were trauma bonded to them. So this enabler, as I say, may say that to you, that why did you stay? And, well, they seemed like such a nice person. They are expressing their feelings to you. They've gone through breakups perhaps in their life, but have they ever gone through a trauma-bonded breakup with a narcissistic, abusive, toxic person? Maybe not. And they probably just want the best for you, and they're probably trying to make things a little bit easier for you, but instead it hurts you even more when they say this to you. It's like, well, you know, yeah, they may seem like a nice person to you, but they're a narcissist. That's what they do. To you, they'll be nice, they'll be wonderful, they'll treat you like a goddess and god, but to you, the victim, the other person in the relationship, they'll treat you like dirt on their shoe, not even sometimes, even worse. So my advice to you is, if these people start to engage with you as enablers, and this may not happen immediately, this could happen a year or two down the line when you've not had contact with this person for so long and you forgot about them, perhaps they didn't play that much of an important role in your relationship with the narcissist. They weren't a close friend as such. But this enabler comes along, block them. There is, again, no point trying to explain to them, this is what happened, this is what I'm going through. I choose to make these videos. It is part of my healing process. It is part of my process for my future as well, because I'm recording these as part of my healing process. I'm writing a book about it at the moment, and eventually I would like to go on, hoping to start studying at the end of this year, psychotherapy, and eventually I hope to start a support group for women in my area who have been abused in relationships. So this is my new destiny. This is my new change in life. And this is why I create these videos. Not to remind myself of the hurt and pain that he put me through, but to help you who may be in this situation at the moment. Eventually the enabler will probably go and tell the narcissist, this is what happened, I had this experience with your ex, and she said this and she said that and she said the next thing. And the narcissist will be so happy because they're getting supply. They wanted to control you during the relationships. They wanted to control you after the relationship, and a year or two down the line, they're still controlling you because you've responded to this enabler in a way that you were trying to explain yourself and your actions, your behavior, and what happened to you in that relationship, but they don't believe you, and you've just wasted your time and given that narcissist extra supply. So the narcissist is going to think, yes, this person is still under my influence. Your healing journey is your healing journey. Nobody else has the same journey as you, ever. You will take as much time or as little time as you need to heal, and that is okay. Don't rush. Take your time to grieve. Take your time in that phase of crying, of realizing that this person who you loved, who you thought loved you, and who you thought would be with you forever, actually hated you. It will take as long as it takes. Get the therapy you need. Watch these videos on YouTube. There are many different channels out there that I highly recommend that you watch, that I still watch. I still keep up with all of this. In fact, I'm actually doing a online summit at the moment about trauma and health and wellness, and mental health and wellness. And I'm doing this as a precursor to my studying. But only you can know when you're healed, if you'll ever be healed. It's a journey. It's a journey. A flying monkey knows what they are doing. They know. They are deliberately trying to upset you, to undermine you, to disrupt your life, to hurt you. The enabler doesn't. So if you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.